Hey guys, it's APHPW's Gamer here, and in this episode I'm going to show you something that I finished like 2 days ago, but this project that I'm going to show you, I started it in July, I think it was, or August. It was July actually, and I built most of it actually almost all of it, at least 99% of this I built it in survival, and just the 1% I built it in creative the other day, because I was basically done with it for the last 2 months, but I just needed that little finish touch. So I'm gonna show it to you right now, but I think I want to show it to you first on the map because I've updated the map, and you're gonna see how expanded the map is. Also, the town is expanding quite a bit, and I want to show you that because I don't remember when was the last time that I showed you the map. So right here, we're standing right here in my house. This is my house. This is the tree house that I showed you the other day. I don't remember if I showed you this house. I'm pretty sure I did. That was a long time ago if I did, because I finished this house way before the tree house and other buildings. Um, so if you make your way through town, you can see that this is the last two buildings that I showed you, which is the modern house and the clown house next to each other. Then if you continue making your way down, you're going to see this that I actually forgot to show you, which is a little bridge that I built that goes on top of the minecart rails. And then this is the haunted house. And what I haven't showed you yet is this. What is this? Oh, I've shown you a little bit of this. I showed you this house right here, the White House, and I showed you this house right here, but I haven't showed you the rest. And it's ready, so just wait and I'll show you one of these days. So I also finished the railroad station yesterday, I think, like 2 days ago, because the pathway, like the one of the ways, because there's two ways to the railroad station, if that makes sense, to the railroads. So one, basically two paths connected together. You have the one where you start here and it goes all the way to here, and then the one that comes back. They're separated because I don't know, I just wanted to make them like that. So it's basically two different railroads together. And I had finished one of them, but I needed the one coming back, so now it's actually finished. And Angel and I were talking about how when I first built this minecart station in the jungle, it used to feel extremely far away from our town. And it is, but now that I built this part of the Mexican town, well, I mean, it's still the same town, but you know what I mean. Now that I built this part of town, the Mexican style town, this actually doesn't feel that far away anymore. It actually feels quite close. And it is. I don't know why. It's perspective. Well, anyways, what I wanted to show you today, I need to update this part because I wanted to make this like a kind of like a boardwalk the way Angel made it right here. But then I regretted it and I was like, there is no need for that. I'm gonna go back to stone. So I turned it back to stone. And what I'm gonna show you today is this. Yup. Before I planned, or before I convinced myself to turn this series into creative, I was going to compromise a lot because I was thinking about making this Mexican town for a long time, and I wanted it to be colorful. And if I was going to use concrete, that was going to take a million years. So I wanted to compromise, and that's when I built this orchard. Because I was like, if I can't use concrete, I'm just going to use all the type of woods, and I'm going to build one house out of one wood and, all of that. So this is what the reason why I started building it. But then before I even finished it, I decided to just go into... I decided actually that I was going to build it out of concrete, even if it was going to take a long time. But then when I started building this, I was like, you know what, this is going to take way too long. This is going to take a year, and I don't want it to take a year. I wanted it to be done right now because I'm getting all these fresh ideas that I want to build. And the goal for this is just to build a town, you know? And I'm having a lot of fun doing it in creative. I'm actually relaxing more and I'm enjoying it way more because when I was building it in survival, I was feeling so worn out. I wasn't enjoying it anymore. I was actually taking month-long breaks from this game. And now I'm playing it almost every single day because I have fresh ideas and I just come here and relax and just build whatever I want. And I think that's a better way to experience this game. And that's the beauty of Minecraft, that you can enjoy it however you want. There is no one way to enjoy it. Okay, let's go see it now in person. After saying all of that, I don't know why I said that. But that's how I feel. Because at first I was the one who never wanted to make this into creative. Cause Angel would always be like, "Hey, please just make it into creative. It's gonna be way easier for us, you know." And I was like, don't even say that to me. How dare you? What's the fun in having everything at your disposal that's gonna take the fun out of it? And I didn't realize I didn't realize that what was going to take the fun out of it was all the work that I had to go through gathering the resources and all of that. So at the end, even though I didn't want to for a very long time, I turned it into creative, and it was the best decision I've ever made, at least in Minecraft. But now I'm regretting having all of these villagers, but at the same time I'm not, because they do add a little bit of life to the world. Then it doesn't feel that lonely. And eventually, when all the town is connected, because the beds are going to be close to each other, we're probably going to have a lot of villagers, because they keep breeding, especially because we have a farm and they're feeding each other. That's kind of hilarious to say, but it's the truth. So here is the first part of the orchard. So basically the point of the orchard is to have every type of wood. And I do have every type of wood except one. And I was planning on still, adding that wood type. But then I was like, there is no good way to do that. And I don't really need the orchard anymore. So I'm just going to do it like that. So the first part of the first tree type that I built was this oak orchard, and this has been the most useful and used orchard out of all. I've chopped down so many trees from this orchard, you have no idea. I've probably chopped down at least 1,000 trees from this. The treehouse that you see over there, most of the logs and the leaves, actually all of the leaves, no, not all, but most of the leaves and most of the how would you call it, the bark, it's not bark, oak logs, the logs, most of the logs and most of the leaves, I got it from here. And it was so much work. It would take me like 4 shears just to do one layer of leaves. So I would have to go and harvest a lot of crops, and then I would have to trade with one of the villagers that I have over here, a shepherd. I don't know if he's still here, but I used to have 2 shepherds. Yeah, I don't think I have them anymore. But I had 2 shepherds, and I would have to go and trade and go and trade and go and trade. So that I would get a lot of shears, and it was taking so long, and it was so tedious, and that's why I was taking long breaks. But yeah, so basically, you have the outer pathway, which is supposed to be like a normal. I thought about this like a little road in real life. Like you're driving through the road, and then you're driving through the orchards on each side. But then if you actually wanted to go into the orchards, there's like a pathway designed to go inside, and it's supposed to look very natural, and I think it does look very natural. And if we go through this path, through this direction, we're gonna head through my favorite part of this orchard, and it's when this orchard goes into the birch orchard, because when you're inside of here, you actually do feel like you're in an orchard in a forest or something. As you can see, this goes into the birch forest. It's not a forest. Why did I say forest? It's not a forest. It's an orchard. Then into the pine tree orchard. And look at this, like, doesn't this feel relaxing and like you're in nature and all of that? And can you shut up? Nah, I'm kidding. And then finally, this was such a pain in the butt to build in survival because these trees, because I would usually bring like 8 saplings. I think is the maximum that I brought from dark oak forest that is located over there. It's not that far away, but it's also not that close. So I only brought 8, and then what I would do is that I would grow them, which also took a lot of bone meal, which was also very tedious. Anyways, so I would grow one tree, and I don't know if you know this about these type of trees, but you need 4 saplings for a tree to grow. So when I would chop down the wood to get more saplings, because these trees only have a few leaves, they wouldn't give me, sometimes they would give me more than 4 saplings, so that would be good because I need more so that I can build more trees. I can grow them. But sometimes they don't even give you 4 saplings. So I think a lot of times I ran out of saplings and I had to go back to that forest over there and bring new ones, and that was such a pain. But this is where it ends. Now this is actually quite close to my house. All you have to do is go like this and there is my house. It's pretty cool that it feels very far away and secluded, but it's actually very close to humanity, and that's pretty cool. Now this is my favorite road because it does actually feel like you're in a road and you have forests in each side, and I don't know, I really like that. And this one didn't work out, as you can see, but I just left it like that because I was like, when I come and chop it down, I'm just gonna chop it down and I'm gonna leave these and then I'm gonna leave these grow, and then I'm gonna do the same thing, and they can take turns. And then we have acacia. I've been a very huge fan of acacia trees lately. I don't know what there is about them, but I feel like they look very modern and they can make a building look very fancy. So I've been a very big fan of them. And then this is one of the last ones that I built. The pale forest, pale oak trees. I think they're called pale trees. I don't know how they're called. This also had a very similar problem to the dark oak, but for some reason these do give more saplings than the other ones. So it was a little better to handle. And then this is where I drew the line and just stopped building it in survival. I built probably half of it in survival, but this was the hardest one to build because the amount of bone meal that I needed to turn all of the, I think it was netherrack, or how do you call it? Let me see. Netherrack? Netherwort? No, it wasn't that. It was this. Yeah, netherrack. So the amount of bone meal that I needed to turn every single part of netherrack into however this thing is called. Oh my god, that was taking so long. And also the fact that these are not trees and that I'm not gonna get any saplings from them, I was like, why did I decide to bring these into here? They're not even renewable if you actually think about it. I mean, they kind of are, because if you place bone meal here, there is a very big chance that you'll get a crimson fungus, or however they're called, like this, and then you just bone meal it and you get a tree. However, when you actually collect the wood, the block beneath this turns back into netherrack, so that means that I was gonna need way more bone meal, and I was like, oh no. So I just stopped this project for a long time. But now that I'm being creative, I came back and finished it, and I added this one. This one I actually added completely in creative. This one was half and half, and the hardest one to build so far. And that is the tour of the orchard. It's still pretty cool because if you think about it, once I have a very huge town, This is this is gonna kind of look like the Central Park in New York, because it's gonna be nature surrounded by buildings. And also, I've been planning on not touching this part of this world, because this mountain looks very nice like this without any human interaction. So I've already told Angel that we're not gonna touch this mountain at all. And if I do touch it, it's gonna be something that looks very nature focused. So maybe like a cabin and maybe a trail, so that people can walk up and into a trail, like in a hike or something. But other than that, that's it. Nothing else. And that's gonna conclude this video. See you. Actually, it's not, because I want to show you. I'm gonna show you the finished minecart rails that goes from one minecart station to the other one. Now all I need is the minecart. Where do you find that one? I don't even know. Where's the minecart? Oh, here it is. So we're gonna take a trip. We're gonna take a trip from here to there and then back. So let's head into the minecart station. Oh, yay. Oh, it feels so nice to just fly very quickly to my destination. I mean, we could do that. We could just fly, but I want to take the actual intended way, which is in a minecart. Okay, so there are two rails, so you always take the right one if you want to get somewhere, and you always arrive on the left one. That's how I designed it. It works. It works the same way on the other minecart station. So let's go on this trip. We're going on a trip. We're going on a trip into the unknown. But except it's not unknown, because we know where we're going, to the jungle. Oh, this is my first time going through this tunnel. Well, it's not a tunnel, but you know what I mean, this bridge. That made me feel like Lightning McQueen felt in Cars. When he goes on a drive with Sally, they go to Tailfin Pass. And I don't know if you remember, but they go through little tunnels. And the way that McQueen feels when he's going through those tunnels, that's how he felt going through that tunnel. Nah, I'm pretty sure it's not the same way. He probably felt like life-changing, and that was not life-changing to me. But it was still pretty nice to go through a tunnel. It's not a tunnel. Why do I keep saying a tunnel? This is a tunnel. I can't believe I did that in survival too. And I built most of this in survival too. Then why am I bragging if I already have it in creative? Let's not brag anymore, you know? Let's just enjoy this game and just enjoy it. Now this is the laggiest part of the trip, because it's a birch forest, but it only lags when I'm using this, because when I play on me, it's getting late, you can tell. When I'm using the Xbox Series X, it obviously doesn't lag at all, and you can actually see very far, but there is no way that I can record my Xbox. Oh no, what happened? Oh no, it's gonna kick me out, isn't it? Okay. Here we are. We're going very slowly, but we're in the jungle. In the jungle. I'm not gonna sing the song because it's copyrighted. Alright, this is what I'm excited about. Going back home. Wee, this is so slow. I remember back in Pocket Edition, back in 2015, it used to be so fast. You could actually build roller coasters because it would actually feel like you were going very fast, but for some reason, I don't even know when this happened, but now it's very slow for some reason. Now you barely feel the powered rails. I remember how fast powered rails used to feel. I would actually build the whole track out of powered rails. Obviously in creative, because when I was a kid, I mostly played in creative. But I remember those power rails, they were so fast. And now, it barely feels fast. Oh, they should bring back that speed. Or they, if they don't want to bring back that speed, they should make new powered rails that are harder to obtain, but it actually goes fast. Like 2 times as fast. That'd be so good. I would obviously use those instead of these because, whoa, this goes so slow. I mean, it's still way faster than walking and running, but it's still very slow in comparison to what it used to be. So this is my first time completing a whole trip. And it feels amazing, especially now that we have those. You have a lot of things to see now. It's pretty cool. Especially if you're... Oh, I was talking about the Xbox. Xbox, huh? How I can't record because I have no way of recording it. I wish I could, because it's very smooth over there. Not only that, the render distance is very far as well. But unfortunately, that's one thing that I can only have for myself. And that's gonna conclude this episode. Thank you for watching me. See you in the next one.